Hey, howdy, hey everyone, this is No Name here, your friendly internet nobody. Today I'll be covering an article from the Chicago Tribune titled "He Quits a State Department Job to Play Video Games. Now He's a Star in NBA's 2K League." This was really cool. I enjoyed reading it. However, I do have a little bit of sad news here before I get started. After researching the NBA 2K League, because I'm not big into sports games, so this isn't something I normally follow, I noticed that the YouTube community seems to believe that the league is on a downward spiral and isn't going anywhere good right now. But besides that, this seems like something that's really upbeat and awesome, like I promised. So I wanted to cover it. I thought it was cool anyway. So hopefully you do too. And I'll give my opinions on the piece at the end of the article. I don't like doing it in between the articles. So without further ado, here we go. It's also by Rick Macy, just to let you know. It's hot and muggy outside, but fortunately, this basketball game is indoors, and the players all seem pretty locked in. The one they call Boo is particularly chatty, talking his team through an intense weekday scrimmage. "Good D there," he calls out. "Gotta get a stop. All right, good board. Yo, everybody, stay home on your shots," and so on. Even as the score tightens and the players look winded, he never breaks a sweat. Austin Boo Painter plays basketball 5 days a week alongside his teammates, all lined up against one wall, all facing oversized screens and holding video game controllers. Painter is the leading scorer for Wizards District Gaming, which is in the midst of an inaugural NBA 2K season, a fledgling league that's backed by the NBA. The upstart is trying to capitalize on the sport's explosion. Big-name investors are lining up to get involved in various teams and leagues, and even the International Olympic Committee has taken an interest. And in the process, the new NBA 2K League has helped carve out unlikely career paths for sports gamers, perhaps few as improbable as Painter's. The 24-year-old graduate from Old Dominion last spring, he almost immediately accepted a job with the State Department, underwent 2 months of training, received his security clearance, and then walked away from it all to play video games full time. "I get housing, everything's paid for, and I get a good salary," Painter says, by way of explanation. "I mean, I'm playing video games every day, so the decision was stand up and walk around the State Department all day or play video games." He has what is essentially a 9-to-5 job, reporting each day to the Wizards District Gaming facility in Chinatown, where he sits side by side with teammates and plays on NBA 2K game after another, prepping for the weekend competition in New York. Painter is from a no-stoplight Virginia town called Stanley, located in the shadows of the Shenandoahs and about 8 miles from the Luray Caverns. He grew up playing both sports and video games. "I was probably like most parents. You need to get off the game and get outside," his mother, Lori Painter, says with a chuckle. "There were times," she says, she'd even cut off the internet to compel a mandatory video game break. No one, of course, knew where it might lead. Painter enrolled at Old Dominion and double majored in criminal justice and sociology. He also preferred sports games and kept playing whenever time allowed, winning a few dollars here and there in online tournaments. "I kind of took a step back at one point because I was in school and it was like, I can't play video games all the time," he said, "and I had a girlfriend at the time. But when he did return to more steadily playing, he wasn't rusty, and in fact had emerged as one of the world's best NBA 2K players." Just as the NBA was preparing to help launch a new esport league, Painter graduated college and landed a job with the State Department, doing diplomatic security. His parents were pleased he landed a government job, the first step on what looked like a stable career path. The NBA announced its esports league in May 2017, with 17 of its 30 franchises intending to field teams in the inaugural season. By fall, Painter was so consumed with work, though, he couldn't practice much. He regularly put in 50 to 55-hour work weeks and squeezed in only a game or two before he going to bed. He managed to qualify for the NBA's 2K Combine, kept putting up good numbers, and knew he'd have a shot at a roster. I'll never forget telling my family and seeing the look on their faces, he said. It was like, you think you're going to do what now? You think someone's going to pay you to play video games all day? In February, he was one of 72,000 gamers who participated in the combine. And then in April, he attended the league's draft in New York, where the Wizards made him a second-round pick. Honestly, I think a lot of us were expecting him to be gone, said Grant Paranjapa, the director of esports for Monumental Esports, which owns the Wizards. In a lot of our mock drafts, he had him going in the first round, so we were a little bit surprised that he was there the second round. Paranjapa estimates that only about 10% of the league's 102 players have graduated college or had embarked on professional careers. It's a lot to leave behind. Yeah, I loved working at State, Painter said. It's great money, but it's a stressful environment. Why not go and take a chance at this and see where it's going? Painter says he was making $78,000 from his government job, with a chance to earn even more in bonus money. The NBA 2K League promised him $32,000 for a 6-month contract. If the team does well and somehow wins the championship, bonus money could bring his 6-month salary closer to $100,000. The money is essentially the same minimum salary offered in the developmental G League. The NBA actually had to boost its coffers to bring the G League salaries for actual basketball players in line with its new video game players. With little trepidation, Painter quit his government job on May 9th and signed his NBA contract a week later. The guys I used to work with, they were all behind it. Like, I would definitely leave this job and go play video games, he said. It was a leap of faith. While the esports world is booming, NBA 2K is the first big test to see if a sports title can support an entire league. The most successful esport entities are centered around games that provide players with a unique experience, such as a battle arena game like League of Legends or a first-person shooter game like Overwatch. That can be replicated or even approximated in real life. By contrast, NBA 2K was merely a virtual version of an activity that can be found by flipping to ESPN or visiting a neighborhood court. I guess some people could think that they're so used to watching real basketball, why would you want to watch virtual basketball, Painter says. You're not really used to watching the military, so people tune in and watch Call of Duty. The Overwatch League has millions of viewers, often more than 100,000 at the same time. By comparison, each NBA 2K League broadcast might draw only a few hundred or a few thousand concurrent viewers watching via Twitch, the live streaming service owned by Amazon. Amazon founder and CEO Jeffrey P. Bezos also owns the Washington Post. Overwatch, which also began playing this year, has more than 1 million Twitch followers. The NBA 2K League has 53,000. The upstart basketball league isn't measuring its Season 1 success solely in numbers for them. NBA 2K also serves as an entity point to foster and engage a new generation of fans. As a monumental Paranjapa says, from a league perspective, it's a long-term play. As a new league, our focus is on engagement with fans, said Brendan Donahue, the NBA 2K League's managing director, which is why we are seeing the tremendous benefit of having Twitch as a partner. Overall, we are incredibly pleased with the level of fan engagement, not just on Twitch, but across all of our social channels. The league plans to expand next season and perhaps field 30 teams in 2020. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has also floated the possibility of exploring international markets down the road. The fact that NBA committed to esports league for at least 3 years is a big reason gamers like Painter felt comfortable making the leap. Wizards District Gaming works out of an office building adjacent to the Capital One Arena. Behind the front entrance is a locker room, and behind another door is the training room. Video monitors on one side, a snack table on another, and a mini fridge stocked with Bud Light in a corner. The players arrive en masse each morning, usually scrimmaging against each other, but other teams will also fly in and assemble in a nearby room, so the team squads can compete against each other, even though they're separated by a wall. At the end of the day, Painter retires to a luxury apartment a few metro stops away where he roams with a teammate. The team pays the $3,500 monthly rent there, a major perk offered to all players. The gamers' pastime in the rooftop pool or the complex real-life basketball court. They'll often play non-stop games, like Fortnite, to catch their breath. Or non-sports games, sorry. With 4 regular season games remaining, Wizards District Gaming has a 5-4 record, tied for 6th in the league and currently occupying one of 8 playoff spots. Painter is the league's second leading scorer, averaging 25.8 points per game. On Saturday, he recorded the league's second ever triple-double with 45 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists. Painter's online presence is a 6'4", 240 pounds with blue hair. On this side of the monitor, he's around 6 foot with a warm smile and affable personality. He takes this pursuit just as seriously as he did his previous job. Even when he's home, he's thinking about upcoming opponents. Instead of coming home and watching Netflix, I'll watch past broadcasts on Twitch, he said. I try to figure out what they'll do against me, how they'll rotate. Basketball IQ is important, whether it's a video game or real life. Painter's family is now hooked, too, watching the broadcasts online and bragging on social media, even if his calling seems a bit unorthodox back home in Stanley. We're still explaining it to people, Lori Painter said. Wait, your son is playing video games for an NBA team? We're constantly having to explain this, and they're always like, we're not telling our kids what your son does for a living. There's no way we want them to know this is possible. Painter is hopeful Wizards District Game and the fledgling league has a spot for him next year, though all 102 gamer contracts in the league expire at season's end. The league hasn't announced what will happen after, whether teams can protect players, whether they'll all be free agents or subject to another draft next spring. Painter hopes to draw a video game salary for as long as possible, but figures his government security clearance is good for 2 years, and he could also find another job in Washington if he has to. For now, he's eager to see where his basketball career might take him. This feels like just a starting point, he said. For now, we're making a good salary, and we're getting everything paid for. You can tell that it's going in the right direction, and it'll keep growing. End of article. This is a wonderful article. I really enjoyed reading it. And I feel hopeful that this might blossom into something, but also skeptical, because as someone who isn't a big fan of sports, I know one of the biggest allures to video game esports, which is something I do watch, is the fact, like what they said in the article, it's something you don't see anywhere else. You can't watch 3 guys duking out, shooting plasma beams from their hands like I'm watching here. You can't go watch League of Legends in real life. That just doesn't work. People don't know magic skills or anything like that. And Overwatch is just, I haven't really watched any of that, so I can't be too I can't give any information on Overwatch esports because I just don't watch it. That's what I'm trying to say. But this all looks really wonderful, and I hope it becomes something, but I wanted to research this on YouTube, and I noticed that after typing NBA 2K League star quits government job to play full-time, because that's the title of my video, I'm getting things like pretending to be a professional NBA 2K League star on the park, the tip-off, playground confirmed, NBA 2K's full highlights, Pistons GT versus King Guard Gaming, the NBA 2 is in serious trouble, the NBA 2K League is facing an impossible problem, NBA 2 League draft was intense, this is every NBA 2K player's dream. I'm just reading off every title, so I apologize if you get confused. NBA 2K League Week 8 recap, that was 7/6/18, 5 days ago. The 2K League prospect is definitely cut after this game losing airball. NBA 2K League combine everything you need to know. NBA 2K League the tip-off, another full recap. First round selections, 2K League players are living like kings, and then the real truth about NBA 2K League being rigged. Did I quit YouTube because I didn't make it? Being rigged. There's a few more articles. Most of them are either recaps or things like that. So it's not looking good. From what I can see, there's a lot of problems they have with the league, but it could grow. You never know. I didn't watch any of these videos. I did a quick YouTube search to get some reference point after reading that article, because like I said in the article, it talked about how it's not a big thing and they're not really focusing on getting too many people. They're focusing on the fans this year. They're not too worried about the view count quite yet. So it's not a bad thing, but it was kind of cool to hear that this guy's making it playing video games. As for most gamers, that's kind of our dream, wanting to play video games for a living. So it was a nice, sweet article to read. I don't have too much to say about it, but I did find it interesting. Wanted to share it all with you guys today. Hopefully everything's going to keep going good for me. I'm going to keep doing these videos daily. If you like it, please give the thumbs up to the video. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you wouldn't mind. And if you want to watch another channel that covers similar content, there's the quartering, which is currently reached 100,000 subscribers. So, I mean, he's awesome. So you can watch his stuff over on his channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.